Hello, we're in a different position today because it's not a podcast. Yeah, I'm going to start a project that is probably a little bit crazy, but I thought I would take you along with me. So for a while now, I've been thinking that I have this sweater. I really like this sweater. I wear it a lot in the winter, but it's not quite what I want it to be. I'll get into that in a minute. Basically, I knitted a jumper back in winter 2021. Really like it. But as I've been wearing it, there are things about it that I'm like, you know what, I wish this could be different. I wish I could change this. I wish I could sit in this way. I'm sorry, it's just got really bright. And I thought, you know what, let's embark on a mission of finding a pattern that fulfills what I need this sweater to be. So the original sweater that I made was the cover sweater for the winter 2021 Toft Quarterly, which is this guy here, and it is called the Whinfell jumper. Really great knitting pattern where you hold a chunky and a fine yarn together to make this kind of mild effect. It's made bottom up, then in the round, then it's done back and forth for the armholes, seamed, cowper on the top. However, after having worn it for now 3 winters in a row, I've realised that there's some bits about it that just don't fit me very well, but I love the jumper, so I thought, well, I'll find something where I can make basically the same jumper, but just with the design elements that work for my body. So I went on a search for that jumper, and it's taken me quite a while to find exactly what I wanted. Actually, I found what I wanted to make in February. A friend of mine called Mary shared this jumper on her Instagram, and I was like, that's it, that is the sweater. But then came the mission of finding the pattern, because it's a Sandnes garn pattern. And if any of you know Sandnes garn patterns, they're really only available in pattern books. So therefore, I embarked on a mission of finding this pattern book. Could I find it written in English? Anywhere. Everywhere had sold out, like everywhere. I could get it in French, I could get it in German, I could get it in English, but it had to be imported from somewhere else. And with Brexit rules and everything, it was almost impossible to get hold of it. I just could not import it. And then I happened to just randomly message the lovely Simona from knit.co.uk, so I knew that she stocked Sandnes garn books. And she was like, I was like, do you happen to have this particular Sandnes garn magazine in stock? And she's like, maybe just check my back room. She had it. She had it in stock. And the pattern that I want to make looks virtually the same to the pattern in the Toft book. It's this one. What's it called? The Brooklyn Weekend Sweater. I mean, there's not really much difference. However, the difference with this is that there is short row shaping in the back, which is going to make a huge difference to me. I'll show you why. I'll try this on and I'll show you the problems that I'm having with it and why I'm embarking on this mission. But not only is it to make a new sweater, no, it's to pull this sweater apart and re-knit it. So I'm going to take you with me along the whole journey of taking it apart and putting it back together again. It is a blooming hot day today, but I'm still, for you guys, I'm going to try it on. Here we go. Are you ready? It is made in Drops. I should have looked this up, shouldn't I? It's a chunky Drops yarn and Toft fine held together. But can you see? We get this weird, oh, it's hot. This weird kind of fold in the neck on me, and the back, there's just not enough space in the back and it rides up. I can't really show you very well. Let's see. It's just not the most flattering of shapes on me. So the plan, I'm going to have to take this off. The plan is to pull this sweater apart and re-knit it as the Brooklyn Sweater by Sandnes garn. Shall I just look at what that yarn is while we're sat here? It's Drops. It's not Polaris. Let's have a look. Drops yarn. Oh, we'll get there. It is a very warm day today. It's not as warm as it has been actually. We've had a heat wave and we're coming out of it. But thankfully it has cooled down, but it is too warm to wear that chunky boy. Why is my internet being the slowest it wants to be right now? Yarn brands. Where are we? Drops. I'll get there. It might be Alaska. No, it's not Alaska. Drops Andes. It's Drops Andes in the colour. I think it's called Sea Foam or Sea Green or something like that. I will tell you now. While I'm here, Sea Green mix and Toft Fine. So I'm going to basically look at the pattern that I knit it from and take it apart in order and then re-knit it. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this journey, and I hope that I get a sweater that I actually enjoy wearing, that doesn't have this kind of flappy bit of fabric on. So wish me luck. Right, I've put it back on again just to show you the main issues with this. So when the seam sits on my shoulder, can you see you get this flap of fabric here, which isn't ideal. It's really uncomfortable under a coat. You also have, you see there's an awful lot of the collar here, which I don't want. And then the sleeves, there's a lot of surplus fabric in the sleeves. And can you see how they kind of are narrower at the armhole? They get wider. And then I think they, I made them taper. Well, no, I think I did like a balloon sleeve at the end. But there's just too much fabric in them. So I took this jumper off, it's too warm. But yeah, I'm going to embark on this mission of re-knitting this sweater. See you on the other side. So I've got the original pattern open in front of me, and the sleeves went on last. So in that sense, the sleeves need to come off first. I'm just hoping it's not kind of felted together too much and that I'm already going to lose this battle. I don't think I am. I just need to tease it apart somewhat. But yeah, this is, I've never done anything like this before. This is kind of scary. Maybe I should just take the scissors to it and just chop it, but I'm just trying to undo this awkward knot right now. There we go. And something I am thankful for, when I did this, I didn't know how to do a sewn bind off, so it's going to be very easy to undo it all. Right, there's that bit. Come on, where are you? I think I will probably have to knit a needle size. In fact, no, the pattern is a needle size less than I did this top in originally. Which is something that is, I think, going to be good because obviously the yarn has been washed, blocked, and that kind of thing. We're nearly there. Oh, come on, I did quite a good job of sewing these ends in. Oh my goodness. Are you ready? We're nearly there, come on. Basically, I've got like an hour to take this apart, and it might take longer than an hour, but I've got an hour until the school run. There we go. She's undone. Should we go for it then? Bye bye jumper. This is a bit scary, but I've been planning on doing this for almost a year. Just has taken me that long to find the pattern, and then I haven't really got time in my schedule to do it now, but I thought now is as good as any time. I've got the house free to myself to film, so I think this is going to be the hardest bit, is getting the sleeves undone, isn't it? Yeah, this is some kind of weird joy in being destructive. Right, ball it up. That wasn't a good noise. This might be a bit trickier than... Do you know what? Let's pull it out and then wind, shall we? probably safer than risking my ball winder. There we go, that probably makes a lot more sense. This is extremely satisfying. Bye-bye, sweater. But hello, new sweater. It's quite scary how easy it is just to pull out a knitted sweater, really. But I'm quite lucky in the sense that this hasn't felted. I'm going to, I'm not going to separate the yarns. That's not happening at all. I will just keep the yarns held double throughout and just go for it. So the plan is to get it all balled up. Whoops. Then I'll skein it and wash it. God, look how fluffy it is. And then weigh how much I've got and work out exactly work out which size I'm going to make depending on my yardage. It's going to be tricky to work out because obviously I've held 2 yarns double, but I'm basically making something at the same yarn weight and gauge, so I should be alright, but I just want to know how much yarn I've actually got here. Why is this so satisfying, just pulling a sweater apart? That was a sleeve about 10 minutes ago. So yeah, that's what we're going to end up with, is loads of these. So yeah, let's keep going. I'm sat here now realising that I probably should have taken a before photo of how this jumper looked on me. I've probably got one somewhere. I think I took a photo the last time I wore it, which, yeah, would have been, I think we had some snow, and oh, I'm wobbling you. I think that would have been the last time I wore it, but I should have taken a photo as a comparison, really. Never mind, there is video footage for us to hopefully see the before and after of this process. So right, I will just get on with it and then I'll show you what the jumper looks like when it's in balls of wool. I basically just managed to film completely the wrong thing. I filmed myself searching for what I was looking for on my phone, rather than actually showing you. I do have a picture of myself in the jumper. Oh, there we go. So it's all good. I've just started pulling the neck apart. What I was saying when I thought I was recording was the most frustrating part of taking something like this apart is undoing the knots or like the tail ends, because obviously you sew them in really well so that this kind of thing can't happen. And here's me trying to take it apart, and I obviously did a really good job because it was quite frustrating to take it apart. Oh, let's not do that. So yes, I'll try not to be too chatty now, and I'll just show you when it's taken apart. expected there to be from the sweater. I'm just going to get my weighing scales and weigh it. What are we thinking? Like 700 grams, do we reckon? I'm going to go for 700 grams. Right, let's start again. What did I say, about 700 grams? I think I'm well off. It would be useful if I could remember how much I used when I first started this, really. But because I used yarn held double, it's not the easiest thing to calculate. So I just dump that little lot all on there, and that's 77. Right, I'll be back with you with an answer in a minute. Well, the answer, this yarn's not going to fit in here, is it? Is 674 grams of yarn in that sweater. No, this isn't all going to fit in that basket. Why am I even trying to do this? That's ridiculous. Also, there's a bit of yarn on the floor, but actually the kind of surplus like bits that I've had to cut off for whatever reason. It's about 11 grams of yarn. So, to be fair, I wasn't that far off 700. And yeah, I'll just show you the chaos on the floor. Yeah, there's fluff everywhere. So a little catch up, balled it all up, weighed it, skeined it, which took forever. I don't have a niddy noddy, so I just used my, I can't remember what the word is now, my ball winder and Swift, that's it, I just used my Swift to do it. Tied them so that they wouldn't go apart, and now they're in a bath with some soak wool wash. I'm going to leave this for about an hour, turn it round, also move it around every so often, and then I'm going to get it on the airer with the dehumidifier overnight, so hopefully then I'll be able to ball it back up tomorrow and start on making the jumper. Right, we're on take 4 of this segment because the sun is literally like there in the sky. So it's bright at the back of the house, it's bright at the front of the house. I've had to close the curtains, but without making it look pitch black. Anyway, today is the Wednesday, the 25th of June. All the previous footage was filmed on Monday, which was the 23rd. And I took apart my sweater, I balled it all up, and then I skeined it all, washed it, and it's now pretty much dry. But at this point, you can see the kinks have pretty much all gone from the yarn. Now it's still quite fluffy, but this yarn, I mean, it's been knit with it's been knitted with, should I say. It's been worn a lot, it's been washed quite a few times. It was made into a sweater for 3 years. So, you know, it's got a bit thinner than it was, and I'll get to that in a minute. That's why I'm here to talk to you right now. So, the plan was to make the Brooklyn Weekend Sweater by Sanders Garn, which is in this book, and it's this sweater. And I had a bit of a read of the pattern last night, and I'm still not 100% sure that it gives me all the credentials that I want. I'm sorry, it's just gone really bright, for a sweater. So I want the big cowl neck, but quite close fitting to my neck. I want it to be split hem. This doesn't have a split hem, but looking at the pictures, it looks like the shoulders are seamed, and that's something I really wanted to avoid. I kind of wanted either like almost like a saddle shoulder, like something that comes over, or I just don't want that seam sitting on my shoulder, basically. So I had a little look around last night, and I think we have a possible other contender after having spent a while looking for this magazine, which is really annoying, but anyway. The other contender is, ooh, can you see it? Is this, which is the Louisiana Sweater by Petite Knit. The neck isn't as big, but I can sort that. And it's sewn down. I'd have to sew it down. It's not got a split hem, but I can give it a split hem. But it's raglan, and I hadn't really considered raglan, but because I'm quite small shouldered, but I'm quite broad backed, which is a bit of an odd combination. So drop shoulder often comes down kind of like here on me, so I get a lot of fabric in this space on drop shoulder, and I'm wondering if raglan will just omit that with the fact that I want to wear this jumper sweater under a coat, and the sleeves don't look as big and massive, which again, getting into a coat is going to be easier. So I'm not adverse to starting the Louisiana, which I already have the pattern for, and then if I don't think it's right, I can just pull it apart and then start the Brooklyn. Obviously I have to go through the process of doing this again, but I think that could be my option, because do I really want to knit the same sweater, virtually the same sweater again? I don't know if I do. And the Brooklyn sweater is on 10mm needles, which this originally was on, but obviously with wear and tear and a bit of stretch, I don't think I'm going to get gauge on 10mm needles with this yarn anymore. And the Louisiana is 8mm needles. Obviously I'll probably swatch. I'm going to have to swatch really. I can't be bothered, but I probably will. I think I might change my mind over what I'm going to make. I think it is now Louisiana over Brooklyn. But yeah, time to wind all this lot back up into cakes of yarn. Right, here we go. Good morning, it's Thursday. I have a very short window of time to speak to you this morning, but you probably want to know what I cast on. Was it the Brooklyn or was it the Louisiana? Well, ooh, I went for the Louisiana in the end after all that effort of finding the pattern for the Brooklyn sweater. What swayed me in the end was the fact that, having read through the patterns for both, The Brooklyn doesn't actually have short row shaping in it, which I thought it did. The Louisiana doesn't either, but I have the knowledge to be able to put those short rows into a raglan rather than a shoulder seamed garment. So what I have done to make it more what I want it to be, because the Louisiana still has aspects that are not quite right to what I want. Obviously the neck, the cow neck, is a lot bigger, so I cast on the number of stitches for the Louisiana, but then I looked back at the Whinfell Sweater at the number of rows that suggests for the neck, and then I did some gauge maths and worked out that I needed it to be 25 centimetres long. So knit a 25 centimetre long tube and then started on the raglan. As you can see, I got a little bit obsessive over this last night, having already got this far. I have dropped a needle size. So the Louisiana, I mistakenly said, was 9mm needles. It's 8, but I've dropped down to 7. Have I? No, I've dropped down to 8. So it's 9. I've dropped down to 8 and I've done 7 for the ribbing, purely because when I did my gauge swatch, which I was going to show you, but I've left it somewhere, the fabric was too open on 9mm needles, and actually, even before washing and blocking, my gauge, my swatch was too big. So that's where we're at. Louisiana sweater, not Brooklyn sweater. Yeah, I've got quite a busy day today. My oldest has gone off on his school trips day, and I'm just about to dash up to my youngest school for bingo, which will be fun. But yeah, we'll have limited time, I think, to film some progress over the next few days, because tomorrow's a very busy day for me, and then the weekend, I just don't like filming when the kids are around. I just want to protect their privacy and all that kind of thing. So yeah, we are on the Louisiana sweater, but so far I'm really happy. We have the long neck, which I want. We have better shoulder shaping in the form of a raglan, and then I'm going to put the some German short rows in before I split for the sleeves. So my plan for that is to basically divide the number of stitches by 3, which thankfully the stitch pattern will divide by 3, find the centre back, and then work the short rows over 2/3 of the back, and probably do about 3 short rows. Obviously I can't really talk about numbers of the pattern, but I'll try and, when I've actually done it, I'll try and talk about what exactly I did do. I think the plan is to do the longest short row first and work inwards, because I can work that maths more easily than, well, it doesn't matter, but I think I'm going to work it that way. So then you close all the short rows on the final round. So yeah, that's the plan. So yeah, there we go. I'm so happy. I'm so happy I've made this decision to pull it apart and make it again and make the sweater that I wanted. So yeah, right, happy Thursday everyone. I'll see you again soon. Right, just a quick catch up to show you where I am. Sped through this, it's been a really quick project. So as I said, I set on the Louisiana sweater in the end, but added some slight modifications to make it more like what I wanted it to be. So I've got much more a cow neck like the original sweater that I took apart, but then the Louisiana has raglan. But what it doesn't have is short rows. So before I joined in the round, I actually put some short rows in to this sweater. The way I did that, I divided the total number of stitches by 3, so I could work out what 2/3 of the garment, or 2/3 of the piece is. And then I worked the short rows over 2/3 of the sweater from the centre back. So I found the centre back, sorry, that's the front, so I found the centre back, and then I worked the longest short row to 1/2 of the 2/3 back, and then to the other, and then back, and then each time I subtracted 20 stitches because of the stitch count of this sweater. So I don't know, I can't tell you the exact numbers, but say I went to 60 and then I went to 60, then I went to 40, 40 and 20 and 20, and then I did another round to close those German short rows, and then I joined in the round. So this is where I am now. I've tried it on and it's a much closer fit than it was before, which is good. That's what I wanted, because ultimately this is going to be a jumper, a sweater, that I will wear under a coat in the winter on the school run, and the whole purpose of this exercise was to make something that wasn't baggy. Here, this was the main culprit, which after trying it on, we don't have that hump here anymore, and to reduce the stitch count in the arms because there was a lot of fabric flapping around over there. So at the moment I'm very happy with where we are. I'll film a try on at some point, but I've got quite a busy day again. I've got a lot of things to do, and I might not get a chance to film again now until Monday. Today is Friday, the 27th of June. So yeah, there we go. Well, it's been a little while since I filmed anything really. We're now heading towards the end of September, and I thought I'd show you the progress I've made on my Louisiana sweater. So we have a full sleeve, we have another sleeve with about 20 rows to go and the cuff, and then the body, it needs to be, I believe, 41 centimetres, and we're hitting, if I can hold that correctly, about 37, 38. My only thing I'm worried about is now whether I'm going to run out of yarn. So I have got basically this left to complete this sweater. I haven't weighed it, so we'll see how it goes. So yes, about 20 rows and a cuff left, about 3 centimetres left, and the ribbing, but the ribbing is about 8 centimetres deep. So I'm just worried that I'm not going to have enough yarn. So yeah, and annoyingly I just snapped the saver off the end of there and it's broken my cable, so I'm a bit cross. Anyway, there is my Louisiana sweater as it stands at the moment. I'm hoping to get this finished very, very soon. There we go. Right, on with some knitting. She's finished. I'm trying to be very good about this and remember to do all these things. So these are my pre-blocking measurements. So the body is 49-ish centimetres wide from the neck. Ooh, I really should have thought about doing this with a tripod, shouldn't I? From the neck down to the bottom of the sleeve is, I think we're looking at about 61 centimetres. Yeah, about 61 centimetres. And then from the stitch marker I've put there, which I'm going to leave the stitch marker in while I wash and block it, just for reference, down to there is about 49 centimetres. So we will see how much this changes in the washing and blocking process. I should probably put this on and show you how it looks pre-blocking, shouldn't I really? Let's do that now. Excuse the absolute chaos. I've just finished filming a podcast and it's my son's birthday today as well. So this is how it's fitting right now. It's kind of quite close to the body, and you can see the sleeves are a little short. Let me just switch arms. You can see they're a little short because I was so worried about I'm here yarn management But this is this is where we are, but you can see there's no lump here, no hump. So yes, let's give this, I look weird on this camera at this angle, let's give this a wash and a block. I'm going to leave that in for measurement's sake, and we'll see how we get on after. But let's hope that we can just get a wee bit more length in these sleeves, because they're quite short for me at the moment. Wish me luck. Right, we are washed and I'm about to block, but I have realised that my blocking mats may not allow me to do exactly what I want. I might have to have a rejig of them, so that might be awkward to do on camera, so I have to show you afterwards. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to stretch the sleeves as much as possible. I realise I'm talking to you, I am here, I'm not actually doing anything. I will stretch the sleeves as much as possible in length to kind of account for the fact that they seemed quite short on my arms, and I will block them outwards, so I will rejig the blocking mats. I'm also going to try and block as much length into the body as I can. It's quite a cropped garment anyway, the Louisiana Sweater, but I just want to kind of add that length into that, so I will I will do some measuring after I've blocked, and I will show you where I am after that. Look who's paid me a visit while I'm blocking this sweater. Hey! What are you doing? Just rubbing yourself all over the beetroot, aren't you? Hey! You gonna come here? Meow! Hi! Hello! Meow! I know. You talking? Right, I don't have much room to block this, but what I've decided is I'm going to block the arms on the diagonal and block the arms first, and then once I'm happy with how the arms are blocked, they're the coasters we made at my son's birthday party, they're quite cute, then I will then block the body. I can always spray it down with a bit more water, but my priority is to get the length in the arms. I'm also very aware that I've got a family coming over this afternoon, and the house just smells like sheep right now, which I don't mind, but yeah, I think there are people in this world who do mind the smell of sheep, so sorry family, it's going to stink of sheep in here. Right, excuse the lack of room, my house isn't that big, and I'm going to have to block the sleeves on the diagonal, and then do the body after. I think I can always make the body damp again. So even without kind of stretching, we were on 61 pre-wash. We're now at about 67, so I think I'm going to try and block it out to about 69 if I can. Yeah, but that's added a lot of length to the sleeves, so actually I'm feeling a lot better about that now. Yeah, quite happy with how it's washed, sorry. So yeah, blocking time. Right, so width-wise, we've got to 52, and length we've got to 53. So that's added on a couple of centimetres, like 3 or 4 centimetres in length and width. I've pinched the blocking mat from up there, so I can have this kind of weird situation going on here. So I'll block here, but obviously I've got to be a little bit mindful of this bit here. But yeah, the dimensions actually are looking pretty good. I thought it would grow in the wash, and it has done. The thing I'm most relieved about is the sleeves. They are like 70 centimetres now, which is so much better. That's added on a good, yeah, I can't remember the numbers. What did I just say? It's added on a good length though, like happy with that. So yes, I'll just finish blocking this out, and then yeah, I'll report back when it's dry. It's so close to being done. I'm so excited. I've got something to show you. It's finished, it's done, it's dried, it's blocked, and it's perfect. It is just what I wanted it to be. As you can see, the most important thing, that kind of hump has gone. The arms are not as baggy and floppy. They're the right length. There's no weird shoulder seam gapping, but I mean part of that is because I knit a raglan and not a drop shoulder. But I've just basically discovered that drop shoulder sweaters just don't really fit my body particularly very well. The roll neck sits here, it's not like out to here. It wasn't the sweater I originally set out to make after all that debacle about finding the pattern, but it's now what I want it to be. And I'm so happy with it. I'm so happy that I took it apart and remade it. And I think the take-home message for me is, if you have a sweater that you're unhappy with, just do it. Just take it apart and find a pattern that you're happy with and re-knit it. Because, I can't really show you the bottom, but no, just do it. Do it, do it, do it. So yes, that is my my little project finished, and you know what? There's another sweater on my wardrobe that I now have the confidence to pull apart and remake, and I don't know what it'll become, but I'm going to repurpose that yarn into something that I actually will wear along with. I used to wear this a lot when it was in its original form, but it didn't tick the boxes, and now she ticks the boxes. So thank you for joining me on this journey, and there'll probably be another one. Take care.